program, you were also mentioning body types.
Yes.
And how freeing it is to say, oh, this is my body type.
Yeah.
Whether my body type's a little overweight or underweight, this is my body type.
Right.
And that does something to allow a person to be themselves.
Exactly.
Well, explain that.
Well, there's 5 body types. What everyone's always trying to achieve, as you heard the term, a lot of you, is hourglass figure. An hourglass figure is when your shoulders are in proportion to your hips, and then your waist, there's a definition in your waist. But the problem with that is that not everybody is truly shaped the same way. There's tall people, there's petite people, we all have different proportions even in the hourglass figure. But knowing that that's what you're trying to achieve is more of a balance in your figure. Then everything else becomes easy. So say another body type is inverted triangle. That is when your shoulders are wider than your waist or your hips area. Okay. So kind of like a swimmer's body. So if I were to tell a client, if they just know to avoid like a strapless dress, because that's just going to widen this area, and to wear something that is more so that there's like a V-neck where the eye is drawn downward that way, it's a trick to the eye. It's so much more freeing to know that they can shop and just avoid all the spaghetti straps or all the strapless dresses and go right for the neck that works for them. So then when they try that piece on, they feel good about it. So many women, they don't know what body type they are. They look in the mirror and they say, oh, I look awful. And then they get discouraged. And that's where the body distortion starts coming in. So knowing those simple tricks to put in and the garments to put on them can be a very freeing process.
What are the 3 other?
The other one is, triangle. So that's just the reverse. That's where your shoulders are narrower than your hips. This is your top appears smaller than your hips. A trick for that would be to avoid those peg pencil jeans, because that's just going to accentuate the hips. But rather knowing that you want to find a jean that is going to be more of a boot cut. Because the boot cut, that little flare at the end, is going to balance out the hip area. And it's amazing when you show a client in the mirror the difference. The other one is, and I coined the term, diamond shape. And that's when you are in the proportion with your shoulders and your hips, but your mid area is bigger. And this is where you tend to gain weight in that area. So again, you're always going to want to try to find clothes that give you a little more definition in the waist and to create more of a silhouette. So you're not going to want a lot of patterns down there so that the eye is drawn right there. You're going to want maybe like a wrap dress, something that kind of crosses over and gives you more of a nice waist. And then the final one is a rectangle, or some people refer to it as a boyish figure, and that's where your shoulders, your waist, and your hips are all the same, and it can tend to look a little boxy. The biggest thing with this body type is that you want to create a waist again, so that you don't look all boxy and in one shape. So something to avoid with that body shape is that if there's a garment that's cut very boxy, and actually this season you're seeing a lot of those blousey tops that are very boxy, that's just going to accentuate the boxiness of that body type. So rather, if you have that shirt, get a belt and just cinch it at the waist, and it's amazing the difference that body can look. So
now women don't have to, if they want the classic hourglass figure effect, they can create that illusion by the way they're dressing.
Exactly.
As opposed to having to go through some sort of amazing, complicated relationship with food.
Exactly.
That frees up people.
It's a very freeing process.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.